Are we on?
It looks like we're live, buddy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
You are in a
obviously, I was telling Tom I've got the flu, and obviously I'm about 5 steps behind. So I guess we started blank there for probably 5 seconds or so. But
That's all right.
you get what you pay for, right?
That's right. And here you are from New Mexico, bringing up the flu into Minnesota. So nice job, Bill.
Thanks. I wanted to bring something special back with me.
Hey, you know what you are called? We call you riffraff up here in Minnesota. The cold weather's supposed to keep you out.
Well, I came in here, it was 0, but then it warmed right up. So it wasn't.
You're right. You did bring the warmth, so we appreciate that, buddy.
Yeah. So Tom, and you know, we should probably clarify every once in a while that you're not actually a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. Would love to be.
But we still like to call you doctor. So.
And that's fine, just as long as people understand that I'm just the average schmuck, right?
Right. We all are. So it sounds like we might have something interesting in the works for Championship Sunday.
Right. So not only do we have a Viking victory on the way, a blockbuster Sunday from the NFL standards, right?
Right.
But it really looks like now, Bill, that we are going to have a blockbuster winter storm. Maybe not in the Twin Cities. So all you Twin Cities people, don't start panicking. Don't start getting on my back here about saying that there's going to be a massive snowstorm. I'm not saying that yet. But what I am saying is that somewhere in Minnesota, central Minnesota, Duluth, northwestern Wisconsin, yes, maybe perhaps the Twin Cities, somebody close to home is going to get a pretty big storm. And I'm thinking blockbuster proportions. And what I mean by that is we're talking 6, 10 inches plus of snow. That's kind of what I consider my criteria for a blockbuster. And I think this one's got the potential, my friend.
So Tom, obviously the majority of people watching this, you know, live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and you know, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
All right, maybe. Yeah.
So you know, when you mention blockbuster storm for the Upper Midwest, it's sort of like, you know, dangling a prime rib in front of a guy who hasn't eaten a lot and saying, we might feed this to you and we might not.
Yeah, well, this one kind of deserves it, Bill, because, you know, again, like we mentioned, we haven't had something like this, a blockbuster, you know, one that where you go, wow, a foot of snow plus. We haven't had that in quite a while, certainly not in the last 3-4 years here in the Twin Cities. Again, we're not saying it's going to happen here in the Twin Cities yet, but there's potential. But I think somewhere in Minnesota is going to get 10, 12 inches plus of snow because this storm system is going to last longer than the previous storm systems, and it's going to have a ton of moisture, of Gulf moisture to work with. And that's, you know, we just need cold air. That's the one red flag, William. We need cold air.
Tom, can you say, at this point, far enough out in the Twin Cities, can you say, I assume you can say it could be anywhere from an inch to a foot, right?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean that. I really don't mean that to be silly, but meaning the fact that we are in play for a big amount, but
we are in Minnesota, Bill. I mean, remember, we got a large state that stretches for 300-400 miles from southeast to northwest across the state. So yeah, there are going to be some parts of the state that don't get anything. Some parts of the state that get some rain, maybe some ice, especially the southeastern portion of Minnesota. And some parts of the state that get 10, 12 plus inches of snow. So sharp gradients with the snow as usual. And it's going to be feast or famine depending on what part of the state.
Tom, if this is such a big storm, I would generally think the gradients would not be, you know, we're not talking about a narrow strip of heavy snow. So why would the gradients be that?
We will be still talking about that. That's just the day and age that we live in, Bill. These big snowstorms nowadays just have these tight gradients, and I think we need to get used to it. By the way, Bill, what people are seeing right now is the jet stream structure, and you know we know how important this is. This is the river of air up at 25, 30,000 feet. And these are the steering winds, and a jet stream gives you great indications of where storms are going to develop. This is the GFS computer model, Bill, and you can see 2 distinct jet streaks. A jet streak extremely strong winds up in the upper atmosphere. Here's one from Texas going into southern Illinois and southern Indiana. And then, of course, this next jet streak, which is an important one that stretches from the northern Great Lakes east into Ontario, Quebec, and Maine. And usually kind of right in between these two jet streaks is where storms like to develop. And that would place southern Minnesota and Wisconsin in on the jet streak. Well, I'm sorry, in on the winter storm. Okay. This is a dry slot. So to come up with these jet streaks, and it looks like the dry slot, this is Monday morning now, that will come up out of Texas and roar. It'll be streaming northeast into southern Wisconsin and Illinois. In fact, the 500 millibar winds show that pretty well also. Again, this is the GFS computer model, but look at those strong winds coming up. This would be a dry slot. This would effectively cut off the precipitation from eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin down to Texas, get into Monday, and then the storm goes right over us later in the day on Monday. This could be a prolonged storm build. It could stretch from Sunday evening. See this pinwheeling upper atmosphere approaching Minnesota Sunday evening, and then it just kind of meanders and takes its time going across the upper Midwest, so that by Monday evening it's still churning out clouds and snow the way it looks for the upper Midwest. So I could definitely see, Bill, a 12 to 24-hour period at least across the upper Midwest. One other thing I wanted to show you, Bill, from the GFS computer model is the 700 millibar charts. And the reason why I want to show you this is the isotherms, Bill. These are temperatures in the middle layers of our atmosphere. But what we like to see is where this ribbon of -8 to -12 degrees Celsius isotherms are located.
Is that for dendrite growth?
That's, oh, William.
I'm sick, but I still got it. I still got it.
Unbelievable. Your retention is amazing, William. But you are right. Yes, -8 to -12 is a great area for dendrite growth. And that's where you get those big, fat, fluffy flakes. Let's try to say that 10 times in a row. But anyway, here it is on Sunday evening. It's located right over the Twin Cities metro, okay? And then as we go through time, this is a little bit of a concern. Here's Monday morning near sunrise. You can see that dendrite zone moves north of the Twin Cities. So I guess in theory, we could get a bit of a mix here in Minneapolis, St. Paul on Monday morning. But you'll see the European model doesn't agree with that, by the way, Bill. And then, of course, as we go through the day Monday, that dendrite zone and those crash at 700 millibars and at 850 millibars on Monday. And, of course, Bill, we got to look at the rain-snow line, or at least in the lower layers of our atmosphere. And let's zoom in. We'll zoom in just a little bit so that people can get a real good view of where that rain-snow line here is in the upper Midwest. Now, Monday morning, and we look for that light blue line, Bill, that's the 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degree Fahrenheit line. The GFS model has this rain snow line located right over the Twin Cities metro.
Monday morning?
Night, and then into Monday morning. So, you know, if you were to believe the GFS computer model, Bill, we would be worried about a rain-snow mix even here in the Twin Cities on Monday morning. So, you know, that's a definite red flag that we'll have to watch here over the next 24 to 48 hours as model guidance to hone in on the storm system. Now, here is the European computer model, Bill, and this is the one that I'm kind of going with right now because it's been the most consistent, I believe, out of all of them. Here's the jet stream from the European computer model, and here's this jet streak, Bill. And you can clearly see it here with the red line where the strong winds are in the upper atmosphere, again, slamming into southern Wisconsin. Now, what we look for, Bill, is who is on the nose or the left front quad of this jet streak here streaming up out of Texas and Wisconsin. And sure enough, right here, Bill, this is the prime area for lift right on the nose or the left front quad of this jet streak. And that is exactly where Minneapolis and St. Paul is located. So northwest.
Tom, there's a three-word phrase that I'd like you to use right here. You know what that is?
Yeah. Under
the gun.
Under the yeah, I'm sure you're going to want me to say a lock also, right? But
no, I'm not going to go there. I'm not. No, I want to think the European model has us under the gun.
European model has us squarely under the gun.
Wow.
You couldn't be in a better position if you were to believe the European model for significant snows over southern Minnesota, western Wisconsin. In fact, we zoom in here, Bill, into southern Minnesota and Wisconsin, into the upper Midwest. Again, here's that jet streak right here in southern Wisconsin, from Missouri moving north, northeast, and southern Wisconsin. And here we are right on the nose, the left front quad of that jet streak. So that's really a nice position to be in. And we're going to have to watch this jet stream over the next 24 to 48 hours just to see if it moves at all.
Tom, I had a question for you. If you're stuck on a desert island and you can only have one weather model, is it the European model?
Well, right now it is. That's for sure. I think the GFS actually has been performing pretty well this year.
Yeah.
So, you know, either or right now, at least for this year. But if you like snow, Bill, and you like the European model, which is what we're looking at, you're going to love this next map that I show you. This is the total snow European model as of expected snow as of this coming Monday morning. And you can see southern Minnesota, basically from the Brainerd Lakes area on south to the border, Minnesota-Iowa border, is in the bullseye for heavier snows by Monday morning. Now watch this, Bill. Don't panic, William. Don't panic, okay?
Okay.
But here you go. Boom. There it is by Monday evening. Now the pink areas, that's in excess of 9 to 10 inches of snow. And the dark black areas and gray areas, that's in excess of a foot of snow. That's by Monday evening. And then here's by Tuesday morning, Bill. And here is the Twin Cities Metro.
Wow.
All right. So if you were to believe the European computer model, and I don't see any reason why not to right now, I would place the Twin Cities, much of southern Minnesota, well in excess of 6 inches of snow, and many areas in excess of 10 inches of snow by Tuesday morning. Now, the GFS computer model, Bill, puts this heavy snow band just a little bit north of the cities, basically from about Duluth to St. Cloud. So regardless, all guidance is showing significant snow right in this area here. So we have model consensus that this is going to happen. It's going to be a fairly wide swath of heavy snow the way it appears. And there's no reason why, again, not to think that this won't happen here in the Twin Cities. But of course, we got to keep an eye to the sky and an eye on the computer model guidances. One last graphic to show you, Bill. Okay, you know, we're still 72 hours out, but here's the travel impact graph from Novak Weather, and you can see where I'm putting my money. I think that the significant snow is going to fall in and near the Twin Cities and La Crosse. For some reason, my Twin Cities ball here is a little off, so I'll have to fix that. But anyway.
What's wrong?
Yeah, you can see it's a little off. That's weird. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, you can see where I've got the heavy snow from Sioux Falls, northeast to the Twin Cities, and then continuing northeast to near Hayward. And keep in mind, I think there's going to be some ice in Rochester and La Crosse, perhaps even. Those areas may get some ice, Eau Claire. So anyway, Bill, a lot to talk about here over the next several days. I'm excited about this one. It's got to hit us sometime here in southern Minnesota. We've got to get the big one. And I think this might be it.
Tom, what, you know, for people like myself that are heading out to watch the game, what, like, when do you think things might get worse? Like, do you think 9 o'clock Sunday night should still be kind of okay?
Well, Bill, you just curl a fetal position. Just, there's no way you're going out. So hopefully, I'm joking. No, yeah, timing, you know, real difficult right now, but I'm more worried about Monday. Hopefully that helps.
Okay. All right. Well, sounds like an interesting
one. Maybe as you get better, maybe we can do one more of these Saturday or something.
Yeah, if not, we can do it from my deathbed, right?
You got it.
I mean, I think that would, you know, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be kind of fun. That would be fun to see.
That would be a special edition of the Minnesota Forecast.
It would be. Don't be talking like that, Will.
Yeah, okay. And Tom, people can follow you on Novak Weather.
Yep, Novak Weather on Facebook, Novak Weather on Twitter. You just type that in and you'll find me on both of those. And also you can go to novakweather.com and find all those links to Facebook and Twitter and website.
Wow. So many places to find you.
So many.
All right, Tom. Thank you for the update. We will see what happens.
Yeah, have fun in the cities, my friend. Take care.
Bye-bye.